Howdy y'all, I'm Mickey. We are here at the end of 2020, if you can believe it. I feel like it's still March. I haven't recovered from March and now it's December and it's almost January. Time is moving too fast. But it is the end of the year, which for a lot of people means it's time to sit down and reflect on what has happened in the last 12 months and to attempt to make plans and goals and resolutions and whatnot for the year to come. It feels nice to step back and reflect and plan, even if, as 2020 very much proved to anyone who had any sorts of plans this year, you really cannot predict the future. But as I said, I do enjoy doing it anyway, and I do like making videos where I check in with y'all on a personal note, and you can get to know me as a human being outside of really niche LGBTQ plus discourse. So I'm gonna go through what's happened this last year, where I am now, and where I want to go from there. And I'm gonna be working on this little pattern thing in my journal as I go. Every year I come up with a statement of sorts, a kind of motto that I try and model my year after, just keep in my head as I go through things. So it's not a specific resolution, it's not specific things, as much as it is just a general idea. And my sentence for 2020 was, 2020 is the year to keep moving forward. Thought a fun Meet the Robinsons reference would be neat, and I very much did not realize how applicable that statement was going to be for how the year progressed from there. I know I said that this year is progressing really fast and I still haven't recovered from March, but reading back through the stuff that's happened throughout the year is wild, because it feels like this stuff happened years ago, not just January. From that point, in January, I turned 20, which was cool. I left my teen years. That feels really weird that I'm just not a teenager anymore. I'm like an adult. It's such a weird jump between 19 and 20, because there's not a big change except you're not a teenager anymore. It almost feels like when you hit 11 and you're like, I'm on a third hand now. My age exceeds how many fingers I have, except now you're 20 and you're an adult and you have to pay rent and bills and taxes. And yes, you had to do all of that stuff prior to 20, but now it feels more real because you're 20 and not a teenager. On the topic of age, Jack also turned 20 in January. He's 2 weeks older than I am. So I just kind of join in on his celebratory stuff. We did the Keys to the Kingdom for his birthday, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a tour around Magic Kingdom that is for adults only, and you get to go behind the scenes of the magic. You get to see the stuff that goes into making Magic Kingdom so magical, and it was really interesting. I know that some people say knowing the behind the scenes stuff ruins the magic for them. They have trouble getting into the Disney mind state. Not at all the case for me. I like knowing the behind the scenes stuff. It's really interesting to me, and it just makes knowing how all of it works from a technical standpoint is just really cool. I got back into my Welcome to Night Vale phase. I am not sure what provoked that. I think it might have been before January that I really started getting back into Night Vale, but Night Vale threw me off in January because I was getting really into it, and then very end of January, A Spy in the Desert comes out, and you find out about Esteban, and he's just been there the whole time, and oh my gosh, Cecil and Carlos have a child. They've just got this kid who's 3 years old. To go with my resparked Night Vale love, I started watching, or I finished watching the show. It's only got 5 episodes. Kirlian Frequency, which is a really neat show. It is a weird supernatural town, and you're experiencing it from the point of view of the radio host. Apparently that's a whole genre of fantasy slash horror. Still on this whole thing, because Night Vale kind of consumed my life for a bit, I bought tickets to go see the live show in Tampa because Cecil Baldwin said this show was going to be his last tour. So I bought tickets for that. It was going to happen in April. Dee Dee and I were going to go. It was going to be great. Haha. Little did we know. And the last note I have here is that Renee started working at my job with me. I met her. If you don't know who Renee is because you haven't memorized all of my friends, she is, well, one, my coworker, and two, she's the girl that I went to Animal Kingdom with in that vlog. I'm just gonna put the clip here.
Look at those rhinos!
I'm gonna kill you.
You cannot kill me.
Can I?
That's her. She was the first person that I had met since high school who was like really into Rooster Teeth Achievement Hunter stuff. And so we clicked over that stuff very quickly. February, a couple things happened. My college hockey team made it to the SCHC playoffs and qualified for regionals. And so that's always very exciting. Love when the guys are able to win their way to bigger tournaments. February is also when I started my journal here that I'm doing my little doodles in. It's not a daily journal or diary or anything I had done before. I was trying to do one of those like aesthetic journals where I kind of just use it to use creativity, to whatever, keep myself creative, keeping things down. It's fun. I've been having fun with it. It is far from a minimalistic journal or whatever, one of those really great ones that journaling YouTubers use, but I enjoy it. In March, we had the hockey regionals in Tampa. The team did not make it to nationals this year, which was, you know, upsetting. Less upsetting when nationals got canceled because of COVID, and so ultimately no one made it to nationals. Most notable thing in March is obviously that the whole US shut down for a bit because of COVID. I got furloughed from my job, came back to my mom's house, tried to find ways to occupy myself. I watched Kipo, I watched Owl House, Impulse dyed my hair, Danger Days Gerard Way Red, and I started doing TikToks, which is a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Making videos on there is just a lot of fun. I don't have to worry as much about editing or scripting or making these really long videos. I can still create the way I want to, but it's a little less effort. If you want to see this face more often than it comes on YouTube, follow me on TikTok. I'm nearly always active on there. April, I started role-playing with my friends again. Distance role-playing. We were role-playing over Zoom calls, but it was fun. I do have media notes in here. So DuckTales Season 3 started. That was a big thing to me because I love DuckTales. And Check Please ended, which made me cry because Check Please literally changed the course of my life. And I'm not being dramatic because Check Please is what got me into hockey. To be the stereotypical, how did you develop this new interest, what character likes it, got me into hockey. And now I'm really into hockey, and I'm on the social media team for my college's hockey team, and I've traveled around the country with that team for their tournaments. I got that VIP thing with the Solar Bears rink. I've just gotten really cool experiences that I absolutely would not have otherwise without that comic. Holds a really, really important part in my heart, and when it ended, I got really emotional. Also, April, I filed for unemployment for the first time. That is something that's going to come up later because Florida has no functioning government websites. Oh look, it came up again. In May, I had to file for unemployment again because I filed when I was told to, but then that was too early and I had to refile for the new quarter. I don't know, I had to refile, so I did. I've gone through a few hobbies over quarantine, just trying to find ways to keep my brain occupied while I don't have outings with my friends to entertain myself with. So I started geocaching. I was very nature focused in May. My mental health was not great. I was angry and upset a lot. June, Pride took place online because we couldn't go marching. Not that Florida does Pride marches in June anyway, but you know, now everybody else wasn't allowed to. So Pride was on TikTok, it was on Instagram, kind of like social media prides. It was great. I didn't have to see any floats that had, you know, rainbow banks. We robbed people, but in a nice liberal way, or you know, a glamazon float. Equal opportunity will force everyone to push themselves beyond their limits, not just cishet folks. I officially stopped caring about a lot of stuff that I didn't really care about before, but I kind of cared about before. Started cutting my own hair. That's about when I started considering the whole just what the heck ever, just make my middle name Chaos, I don't care. All that stuff. My mental state. It's been a state. The official 2020 anthem F2020 by Avenue Beat came out. If you have not heard that song, it's the biggest mood for this year. And oh, also I found out that one of my coworkers that I considered a work friend and spent a lot of time with and really enjoyed being around is a raging bigot, and he was posting all over social media about how he wants to discriminate against LGBTQ plus folks and how trans people have Satan in them. So you know, that was fun. That was a great revelation. I think one of the positives, I believe, has come out of 2020 is that it has resulted in a lot of people showing their true colors, and while it really sucks that this guy has gotten worse and is not somebody that I can consider a friend anymore, and I was really like heartbroken finding that out, I'm glad that I wasn't being friends with someone who secretly hated me, you know? Trying to find the positives in all of it. July, I started rebranding my social medias, moving away from the username IzzyGS, kind of separating myself from my old brand. That was a big thing to me though, because I had used IzzyGS on everything since I was 12. I also started listening to the Magnus Archives in July, and it has ruined me. I consider literally everything through Smirks 14 now. I can't stop. The spiral has taken over. August, I decided my new way of entertaining myself with no friends is exercise to an extent. So I started walking again using the 6 to Start app, The Walk, which is a fictional podcast basically. It's a fitness app, but it's fictional, and when you walk, you unlock new story. It's fun. I love 6 to Start. If you don't know, they also made Zombies Run, which is a running app, but I'm building myself up to running with walking first. Always nice to hear Sam Yao, even if he is currently Lawrence and not Sam. My junior year of college started, which is wild sounding. I'm in my third of 4 years of college. Time, it's wild, man. I'm telling you, it just moves so fast. I blink and time, it just keeps moving. Every day is another day, man. Also, my bank account hit 85 cents for a bit because my claim from May was still pending. My paychecks had stopped because I was furloughed, but my rent did not stop. Fun, fun, fun. 2020 has a pandemic and financial issues. How great. You know, September was pretty decent at first. As stated, I am poor, and so I get money from my college. I got it late August, so September, my money issues were not a problem at the moment. I joined the Rooster Teeth gaming community Discord at some point. I'm not sure if it was September or late August, but I did. I was getting more active on the Rooster Teeth site, talking during live streams.
Mixturemouse in chat says Matt's gonna have a cookie.
You know, talking with other fans in the Discord was a lot of fun. I honestly was getting a lot more social than I had been. I was talking to a lot of people, which was not something that I usually do. I started playing Among Us like pretty much everyone else everywhere, but I think I played it too much because now I have all 3 maps and all the tasks memorized. I also hit 500 subscribers, which was amazing. I can't believe there's so many of you here now. I'm glad that y'all like listening to me talk about random stuff. I enjoy talking back with y'all. It was great. I was super happy that I hit that milestone. And then September went, no, this is 2020. This cannot be. And pulled an old 180 switcheroo. And 2 days after I hit 500 subscribers, my dog died. And I was really, really sad. She lived in my bedroom, basically the same way my cat does. Her food and water dish and bed were in my room. She had a second bed in the hallway because she liked to switch between them. But that was my little fluffy baby, my little gremlin. And that sucked so much. I mean, I wasn't surprised. She was 13, she had heart problems. Still not great. And then October started, and my sister turned 18, which is not in itself a bad thing. You know, she's an adult now too, that's cool. It made me emotional still because that's my baby sister. I remember when my mom was pregnant with her, and now she is legally an adult. After that, got hit with the whole achievement hunter situation. If you don't know what the situation is, I'm not getting into detail. Not great is what it was. I was supposed to have the Welcome to Nightville show that Dee Dee and I could go to, but they canceled it because of COVID. I was back in my headspace of being upset a lot of the time. I mean, good things happened in October too. My school's Canvas added pronouns. You can put your pronouns next to your name. I visited my apartment. It was not covered in 40 inches of dust. Everything was good. My debit card got frauded, so I was stuck in Orlando until Monday because I couldn't get a new debit card and I couldn't afford gas to get back because it's 2020 and it's just gotta hit ya. Oh, and then a really big thing in October is my sister and I voted in the presidential election, which is the first time either of us were able to do that was the same year. So it was like a fun sibling bonding, exercising our civil right to vote. November was Rooster Teeth's Extra Life stuff. Also really fun. Lots of streams. I wasn't able to donate a ton, but I did get the fun Dusk poster. I also donated $1 because they showed your names on the screen and I wanted to put Ceaseless Watcher Turn Your Gaze Upon This Wretched Thing on the screen, and so I paid $1 to put that on the screen. Shout out to whoever kept donating $1 to keep Annabelle Kane on the list. What else? Oh yeah, I refiled for unemployment because my May claim never got a determination. It still says pending. I don't know what they want from me. Adult stuff, am I right? Trying to contact government offices because you have no idea what they're doing because you're pretty sure they have no idea what they're doing. Into December, there were finals, my semester ended. I still have above a B average, so I get to keep my scholarship. So what 2020 is showing me is that adulthood is just financial issues, a lot of phone calls, and a lot of emails, and a lot of things that need to be fixed. And no sleep because you can't rest ever because there's always something causing stress. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm fine. Honestly, I'm actually not that bad right now. My mental state is not awful. I think actually outside of like the bad stuff that's happened this year, which you can't really separate from 2020, but personally, this has not been my worst year. As for me as an individual, I think this year has had a lot of growth for me. I'm more social, I'm interacting with people more, I'm working past a lot of the stuff that I have a ton of anxiety about. Not getting rid of the anxiety, I still hate phone calls, but you know, I'm doing it. I'm calling people, I'm emailing people, I'm talking to people, I'm moving past the couple limitations I had on like concerns for how other people saw me. I've been getting back into cosplaying and role-playing and doing things that I really enjoy doing. Even with all of the bad stuff, sometimes really bad stuff that's happened this year, I am trying to focus on the positives. And I mean, the biggest positive I have for myself right now is that I like who I am right now. I don't hate myself the way I had, and I don't think I realized that that had changed until doing this. I used to really not like myself, and looking inward right now, I don't really have that anger towards myself anymore. And I don't know how much of that is me consciously sitting down and choosing to do new things and work through old stuff and whatever, and how much of it is just that I am physically older and my hormones are mellowing out from when I was a teenager, and so I'm chillin'. I have no idea. Either way, I'm happier, which I absolutely consider a good thing here. Doesn't mean I'm gonna see 2020 in a positive light in the future. No, this year sucked. Like, I'm gonna be real, wasn't a good year. But, you know, positivity. Looking into 2021, I don't have a set sentence statement for the year yet. I have no idea what kind of mindset I want to approach 2021 with yet. But I do have a couple of predictions and things that I might want to change. You might want to keep an eye out for. In about a month, I'm turning 21, which is exciting. It's the big 21. I get to do the drinking portions of the Epcot festivals. Yes, that is why I am excited for 21. There are COVID vaccines coming out now, and when they are available to the public and not just, you know, doctors and like politicians and stuff like they are right now, you better know that I am going to be in that place getting that shot. I'm gonna be real. Vaccines don't scare me. I will absolutely, no hesitation, go inject dead COVID into me if it means I get to just like live again. Also, I mean, I get vaccines like every year. This isn't unique. In 2021, I want to, you know, keep up with my good habits, keep up with talking to people, keep up with this mostly positive view I have towards myself while, you know, still working on stuff. If the world chills out, then I get to move into a different pet-friendly apartment, which means I get to move my little baby son to Orlando with me, which is great because I hate leaving my cat behind when I go to college. Also, right now, I'm considering a fun 2021 project where I might do an online journal of sorts. It's not going to be like the artistic sort of journal, like the one that I gave up doing my pattern after I finished coloring it in. It's also not going to be, you know, like telling all of my secrets to the world. I just think, as I said, I like connecting with you guys as a person. I like sharing who I am. Also, part of the purpose of my social media presence to myself is marking down things and keeping track of things because my memory is not good. I forget things really easily. And so having this documentation of stuff that happened. And so I'm considering doing a daily journal of sorts where I'll just have daily updates, daily whatevers, little notes, check-ins, grounding myself, but also connecting with anyone who perhaps reads it. I've been looking at online journaling sites. I don't know which one I'm going to use yet. I'm probably going to link it on my Instagram if I do decide. Also, we'll probably mention it in whatever my first video of 2021 ends up being, which I think I might know what it is. So far, got it scripted, just not filmed. I make no promises on a more consistent video schedule because I know myself, and I also know that I'm still here, which means that I can't film as often because my mom and sister are also running about. But you know, I'm here. I'm queer. Yeah, I think I'm funny. Also in 2021, and I know that like media is just media, but it's so big in my life. DuckTales and the Magnus Archives are both ending next year, and so if I am crying in journal entries because they ended, this is a forewarning that that will probably happen. It's the end of the year. A lot of stuff that I didn't see coming happened. A lot of stuff that I thought I knew was gonna happen didn't. Life is super unpredictable, and I do enjoy focusing on the stuff that I can control. What major stuff happened in y'all's 2020s? What plans do you have for 2021? I'd love to hear about that stuff and, you know, connect with y'all. If you'd leave it down in the comments, let's see what life has brought or what we hope it brings. Was it an eventful year, a boring one? Are you excited for 2021? Are you pretty certain it's just gonna be more of the same for a bit? Let me know. You know, we can have a bunch of plans for the year and then have them not come up, have something worse or something better happen. We don't know. We don't know what will happen in the future until we're there. For now, this is it. Ciao. See you next year.